Hello, beloved, and welcome. The winds of Gemini are swirling and approaching us, and with them comes the time of connection, transformation, and curiosity. Today we open the cards. I've already cleansed them, shuffled them, and randomly chosen 3 cards for you. There'll technically be 2 cards for each pile. There's a tarot card and an oracle card. So allow yourself to take a deep breath in, and then a nice big exhale, releasing any tension that you might be holding. And allow your spirit to guide you, your heart to be open, and your mind to soften so you can clearly listen. Then allow yourself, even if you have to pause it, just for a nice centering, root it in, and then you're going to choose from 3 piles. The first pile is represented by the Dolphin. The second pile is represented by the Om symbol. And the third pile is represented by the Seahorse. They have meanings too, and I'll discuss that. So allow your soul to pick the pile that speaks to you. Let's begin. Hello, pile number 1. You chose the Dolphin. On the screen, I will be putting down the meaning of Dolphin for you, and you can tie that in with everything in the reading today. So if you chose pile number 1, let's look at the first card, the tarot card. I'm looking at it here. You'll see it on the screen. The 4 of Trees. So this one is a representation of the hard work you've put into. I like this picture because it's showing like a field of lavender, but it's really full. If you can see in detail, you may not, but in detail it shows like this truck or this tractor that's bringing all of the stuff that you've grown and taking it to the market, kind of like what a farmer might do. So this card has a mixture of things, and for the era of Gemini, because we're incorporating that with it, this is about a lot of the hard work. We're in springtime right now, and so a lot of things that you've put in over the last 6 months is what Spirit is telling me, is starting to show fruits that you're bearing. It's coming into fruition, stuff that's manifesting. The stuff's been moving. If it hasn't already, it's starting to, and you'll see its production in a sense, kind of like the field of lavender. Here's the thing though, with the 4 of Trees, a lot of hard work. So it's about being mindful about what you give to the market and what you keep for yourself. It can also be, that's kind of the literal translation of this, but more for this thing of Gemini is you have a boatload of energy and you've been manifesting for yourself, which is very, very important. My question for you is how much are you giving away to others, and how much are you keeping for yourself? This is the time where you do need to be mindful, because if you overgive, you could become very resentful. That usually happens because there's another thing that happens with this giving. This card, it tells you, is when you give, it may not be appreciated the way you want to. If you have conditions in your giving, which it's okay if you do, those can be considered boundaries, make sure that it's stated to the thing that you're giving to. If you don't put that in, if you don't like communicate your intentions or what you're needing from that, there could be problems. So it's really important that there's an essence of mindfulness of what you give and what you expect in return. And also remember to keep some for yourself, whatever that energy is. It can be anything, since this is a general reading. It could be your money, it could be your time, it could be your nurturing energy, whatever that might be. So the oracle card that you chose was stock. That's the plant. I love gardening, so this kind of represents the spirit essence of this plant for you. And in this oracle, they are calling that the stock flower plant is reminding you to focus. This is a good one, especially with your in tangent with your tarot card. Focus meaning, and something about the stock is about amidst all of the chaos and maybe busyness, stock plant is reminding you to slow down, do some careful thinking, mindfulness, and going possibly inward. And this kind of works with, well, it really works with your tarot card, because it's about being careful of how you give your energy, your time, or your money, whatever that might be. And this stock flower is reminding you, slow down. Maybe figure out what you really want to give away. Maybe you're used to just giving in a more fast way or getting things done. Sometimes the air energy is about, change and moving, but for you specifically, since you chose the pile number 1, this is about, hey, slow down, at least with your mental energy, and be mindful of what you're giving away. And also think about what you need, and think about the future a little bit, in the sense that if I give away this much, will this be sustainable for me throughout the year? So this is a really important message for you. I hope that was helpful for you, pile number 1. I wish you many blessings and lots of moments where you can take to pause and be peaceful and appreciate yourself, and remember to be mindful. Namaste. Hello, pile number 2. You chose the Om pile. On the screen, it will tell you how the Om ties in with everything. So let's get started with this one. So the tarot card that you chose was the 5 of Lotuses. I'm looking at it here. You'll see it on the screen. So this one's an intense card, as you can see in the picture. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. This one's about loss. The lotuses, and you can see it's in the water, so it's a lot about getting into your feels. If you're a person that generally is very sensitive and you have no problem accessing your emotional energy, then for you, this message would be is that it's time to let go and embrace the loss. It could be about you growing to the next level of appreciating cycles of beginnings and ends. And for those that maybe don't necessarily know how to access their emotions very well, as you can see, they're not going to make it in the picture. And there's a level of being okay with saying goodbye and letting things go. It could be something either outside of yourself, or it could be something within yourself. And it's okay to grieve. I don't think our society necessarily encourages it, because A, they keep us very busy surviving, or B, maybe a culture standard says you're not allowed to, you gotta be tough, or whatever it is. I think if you're listening to this right now, that that's not a healthy way to go about living life. It catches up with you. There's never been, ever once, a person being able to run away from their emotions. And especially if you're choosing not to lower your consciousness, it's okay to grieve. And whatever that aspect is, it could be, family members, a loved one, or things changing in your life, or maybe saying goodbye to something within yourself that no longer serves you. That's what the Five of Lotus is. Lotuses have such a magical transformation journey about how they even evolve. And that's you right now, is you're evolving. And at some point, I know for me personally, when I allow myself, I'm a very sensitive being, and when I allow myself to go into my feels and give myself permission to mourn and to cry, I promise that it does eventually end, and it's a form of detox. And and when all the water is removed, like the tears, the symbolism of the tears, you can find some truth within there, and something new can grow. So I hope that can help you with this one, because this is an intense card. So let's go to the Oracle card that was also randomly chosen for you. So this card, well, you can't make this up. Interesting. We have Cucumber, and it's the plant oracle. It's a Green Witch Tarot or oracle. And I love plants. And much like with, I love spirit animals, I love the spirit of plants as well. And they have so much wisdom to share with us. And so the cucumber represents emotion. And we were just talking about our emotions. Like I said, it's beautiful how that all works out. And so the cucumber is there. The energy of cucumber is there to remind you that in this moment of where you're at during the time of Gemini, you might have a big life decision to make. And it could be based upon a career, or it could be maybe a relationship or friendships, or something's big's going to be changing for you. Because of the oracle of the cucumber, it's there to remind you, before you make any choices, maybe you might have a tendency not to let your emotions guide you. This is a message to say, what do your emotions say? Oftentimes your intuition is connected to your emotions, and that's kind of the bigger message there for you. To really access that power of your intuition. How do you feel about it? And it doesn't mean necessarily you have to react to your emotions. It's just being aware of them. That's a really good first step, is just be aware of them. Much like when we discussed with the card, the tarot card. This is going to guide you through the storm. And it could also prevent you from more heartache, more loss, because you're learning to develop your intuition in this time. There's great wisdom of giving yourself permission to just feel and be aware of them. And it's not about reacting to them. It's just the level of awareness and acknowledgement and a level of respect you give yourself when you can give yourself that permission to feel. I hope that helps you, pile number 2, during your time of Gemini. And remember, it's okay to feel whatever. Joy, sadness, grief, they're all beautiful and valuable for you. It's a process. That's how you evolve. Namaste. Hello, pile number 3. You chose the Seahorse. On your screen, it'll show you the spiritual essence or the meaning of Seahorse and how it's applicable for your reading today. So I am looking here at the first card for the tarot. And, well, it's kind of a tarot oracle one. And you'll see it on the screen. And this is called the Pathfinder. This one's a nice one. I like this one. This one represents about go-getting it. It's very ambitious. It's an energy of ambition. If you've had something that you've been thinking about and maybe you're wondering, should I pursue it? Pathfinder says, absolutely. Go for it. And it also says, don't be procrastinating either. Obviously, with ambition, you want to, there's a lot of energy. There's usually a fire energy in there too as well. So don't waste time. timing is of the essence on this one. There's something really magical about the Pathfinder too. There's an element of trust in the universe, quite a bit of faith, and just believing that it's almost answering a calling. I'm sure many of you that have chosen this one, if you had a calling and you've been on the fence going, I don't know, should I do it? You absolutely need to be discarding any fear. There's a lot of courage in the Pathfinder, but it's based upon faith and trust. Trusting your intuition and understanding that the gift from the universe will be waiting for you because you pursued it. And it's not always about focusing about the goal, even though you can, but sometimes it's also trusting that there's something really magical in this process. Sometimes you have a goal, it's kind of like a dangling carrot, and you go for it, but really the biggest gems or the biggest gift you receive is that process. There's so much more than you could even imagine. So it's like, this is a great manifesting energy here. But sometimes, with us humans, we can be very single-focused. Pathfinder knows there's more going on, but they will keep their eye on that dangling carrot and trust that all the greatness is coming and all the magic's coming because the universe has your back right now. Well, they always do if you follow in your path, but the Pathfinder is fearless, says, hey, I'm going for it. I don't want to live with regret. I have the calling, I'm going for it, and we'll see what happens. So, with the Oracle card that was randomly chosen for you, it's Cauliflower, Transition. So, the fact that this goes with the other one tells me you got a big change coming up. And, people are usually kind of nervous about change, understandably so. You want to make sure you're doing the right thing. But with it's paired with the Pathfinder, you just got to go for it. It's one of those moments, and I'm really hearing to tell you this right now, is that this is your moment to really just be fearless. And maybe you need to have that experience. Maybe you've been careful, or maybe someone told you to be careful and you were taught to be that way. And there's a time and a place for that. But right now, for the time of Gemini and winds of change, the air sign, this is the time where you go for it and don't be slow about it. So, and again, if you find that whatever you've been focusing on, that dangling carrot I was mentioning, and if you don't get that, don't be disappointed. That whole process, if you go in for that, maybe the universe needed to motivate you to go do something. Maybe it's a move. I'm hearing for some of you it might be. And for that, focus on the dangling carrot, but don't be too attached to the dangling carrot. Be attached to saying, the universe is saying, act now. I hope that was helpful for you, pile number 3. And remember, be fearless. Namaste.